They tried to bury the truth, but it ends now. Justice is finally here!
The steaming cup slipped from Lena Brooks' trembling hands. Hot coffee splashed across the front of an expensive charcoal gray suit. The entire hotel lobby fell silent. A security guard gasped. The receptionist froze. Every employee looked as though the world had just ended. The man slowly looked down at the stain before lifting his cold eyes to the terrified housekeeper standing in front of him. Lena's face drained of color. I'm so sorry, sir. No answer. The man simply stared at her. His sharp gaze made her feel as though he could see every secret she had ever hidden. One executive hurried over. Mr. Cross, are you all right? Adrian Cross calmly brushed a few drops of coffee off his sleeve. It's only coffee. The executive glared at Lena. You're fired. Lena quickly bowed. I understand. It was completely my fault. Adrian raised one hand. No. Everyone became silent again. He took one slow step closer to Lena. You've apologized 3 times in less than 10 seconds. Lena blinked. I don't know what else to say. For the first time, a faint smile appeared on Adrian's face. Interesting. Without another word, he walked toward the elevator. His executives hurried after him. Only after the elevator doors closed did everyone finally breathe again. What just happened? Mr. Cross smiled. I've worked here for 8 years. I've never seen that. Lena remained frozen. She had just spilled coffee on the country's most feared billionaire. Yet somehow, she still had her job. 3 nights earlier, Lena pushed open the small apartment door, carrying 2 grocery bags. I'm home. Her mother, Evelyn, smiled from the tiny kitchen. You bought too much again. Lena laughed. You always say that. A knock interrupted them. Lena opened the door. Standing outside was a woman wearing oversized sunglasses, designer heels, and a white luxury coat. Lena stared in disbelief. Naomi. The elegant woman removed her sunglasses. It's been years. The 2 women hugged tightly. Evelyn smiled warmly. I'll make tea. Minutes later they sat around the tiny dining table. Naomi looked around the apartment. You still live here? Lena smiled. It's home. Naomi's smile slowly disappeared. I need your help. Lena immediately sensed something was wrong. What happened? Naomi took a deep breath. My father arranged a dinner. So, he wants me to meet the CEO of Crosswell Group. Lena frowned. The billionaire? Naomi nodded. My father wants our families connected. You mean, he wants me to marry him? Silence filled the room. Lena reached across the table. You don't have to. Naomi laughed bitterly. My father doesn't ask. So tell him no. I already did. And he said if I refuse, he'll cut me off completely. Lena lowered her eyes. Naomi suddenly grabbed both of Lena's hands. I need you to pretend to be me. Lena almost laughed. What? Just one dinner? No. Please. No, Naomi. You look enough like me with the right makeup. No. I'll teach you everything. No. Naomi's voice cracked. Lena. Still. Lena shook her head. This isn't pretending to answer a phone call. This is fraud. Naomi looked away. I paid for your mother's surgery. The room became silent. Lena's smile disappeared. Evelyn quietly looked down at her tea. Naomi continued softly. I never asked for anything in return. You didn't. I'm asking now. Lena felt her chest tighten. Her mother gently touched her hand. You don't owe anyone your future. Naomi quickly interrupted. I'm not asking forever. Just one dinner. I'll return before anyone notices. Lena stood up and walked toward the window. This feels wrong. Naomi walked beside her. I know. What if they discover me? They won't. What if they do? I'll fix everything. Lena slowly turned around. You promise? Naomi nodded. I swear. After several long seconds, Lena finally whispered. I'll do it. Naomi hugged her immediately. Thank you. You just saved me. Lena quietly answered. I hope I didn't ruin myself. The next afternoon, Lena hardly recognized herself. Professional stylists transformed her appearance completely. Elegant black dress, diamond earrings, soft makeup, hair perfectly arranged. Naomi circled around her proudly. See? Lena stared into the mirror. I don't even recognize myself. Naomi smiled. Good. She began teaching. Rule number 1. Wealthy people never explain themselves. Lena nodded nervously. Rule number 2. Never apologize first. Lena smiled awkwardly. I apologize a lot. I noticed. Stop. Naomi continued. If someone insults you, what do? You smile. And you make them uncomfortable. Lena laughed. I can't. You have to. Naomi looked directly into her eyes. Confidence isn't about believing you're better. It's about making everyone else wonder if they underestimated you. Lena repeated the sentence quietly until she memorized it. That evening, the private restaurant overlooked the city skyline. Every table was separated by elegant curtains. Security stood at every entrance. Lena's heartbeat pounded. A waiter approached. Miss Sterling. She nodded carefully. This way. She entered the private dining room. A man stood beside the window. Tall, calm, perfectly tailored navy suit. Without turning around, he spoke. You're late. Lena swallowed. I'm sorry. She stopped herself. Naomi's lesson. Never apologize first. Instead, she lifted her chin. Traffic. The man slowly turned around. It was Adrian Cross. His eyes met hers. Neither of them spoke. Several uncomfortable seconds passed. Finally, Adrian pulled out a chair. Sit. She obeyed. Dinner began quietly. Adrian watched every movement she made. Lena could barely eat. Finally, Adrian broke the silence. So, how long have you been pretending? The fork slipped from Lena's fingers and clattered loudly against the plate. Her heart nearly stopped. I don't know what you mean. Adrian calmly sipped his wine. No. You've looked at every exit since you walked in. You thanked the waiter with your eyes. You almost apologized twice. And your hands tell me you've spent years doing physical work. Lena couldn't breathe. Adrian leaned forward. So I'll ask again. Who are you really? Lena's fingers tightened beneath the table. For one terrifying moment, she considered running. But something in Adrian's expression told her he had already seen through every lie, and he wasn't finished with her yet. Lena's fingers tightened beneath the table. For several long seconds, neither of them spoke. Finally, she took a shaky breath. My name isn't Naomi. Adrian didn't look surprised. I know. You knew the moment I walked in? I knew before you sat down. Lena blinked. Then why didn't you expose me? Adrian leaned back in his chair. Because I'm interested in people who are willing to risk everything. She frowned. I'm not here because I wanted to. Then why are you here? She hesitated. I made a promise. To the real Naomi? Lena nodded. I owed her. Adrian remained silent for a moment before asking another question. If I call security now, what happens? Lena looked down. My life falls apart. And if I don't, I'll finish dinner, go home, and pray we never meet again. For the first time that evening, Adrian laughed quietly. You believe life is that simple? No. Good. He placed a small envelope on the table. What is this? Open it. Inside was a contract. Lena's eyes widened. A public relationship. For 6 months. She looked up in disbelief. You've lost your mind. No. You have. Adrian folded his hands. My company is negotiating a merger worth billions. Investors want stability. They want to believe my future is secure. So, they believe a family man is less likely to make reckless decisions. She stared at him. You want me to pretend to be your girlfriend? In public? No. The compensation is generous. I don't care. I'll also guarantee your mother's medical expenses for life. Lena froze. You investigated me? I investigate everyone. She stood from her chair. I'm leaving. Adrian didn't stop her. Instead, he calmly said, Victor Cole is watching. She stopped walking. My executive vice president. He'll investigate tonight's dinner. If he discovers you first, your friend Naomi will be dragged into a scandal. Lena slowly turned around. What are you saying? I'm saying the safest place for you right now is beside me. Silence filled the room again. Lena returned to her seat. You already planned all of this. I planned several possibilities. And I was one of them. You became one. She looked directly into his eyes. If I agree, I have one condition. I'm listening. The moment an innocent person gets hurt because of this, I'm gone. Adrian nodded once. Fair. He extended his hand. 6 months. Lena hesitated. Then she shook it. 6 months. 3 days later, Lena pushed her cleaning cart through the executive floor. She had barely slept. Every newspaper carried the same headline. Billionaire CEO, dating mystery heiress. She wanted to disappear. Instead, the elevator doors opened. Executives poured into the hallway. Then Adrian stepped out. Everyone immediately lowered their heads. Good morning, Mr. Cross. He ignored them. His eyes landed on Lena. Miss Sterling. Every head turned toward her. Lena forced a smile. Good morning. Adrian walked directly toward her. I'll need you in my office. One manager nearly dropped his tablet. Another whispered, she knows the CEO? Lena quietly followed Adrian. The office door closed behind them. She immediately sighed. I almost fainted out there. Adrian removed his jacket. You smiled. I was terrified. No one noticed. She shook her head. This is insane. It will become worse. He pressed a button. His assistant entered. Cancel every meeting for 30 minutes. Yes, sir. The door closed again. Adrian looked at Lena. From this moment, there are rules. She folded her arms. I knew there would be. You don't go anywhere alone. What? You answer unknown calls with caution. Why? You'll soon understand. My social media? Deactivated. She frowned. I don't even post. They will. They? The public. Almost as if fate wanted to prove him right. Lena's phone vibrated repeatedly. She opened it. Hundreds. Then thousands. Of notifications. Comments flooded every platform. Gold digger. She's after his money. She trapped him. She doesn't deserve him. Lena's breathing became uneven. I've never even met these people. They've already decided who you are. She slowly lowered her phone. How do you live like this? You stop reading. Outside the office, Victor Cole stood near the glass wall, pretending to read a report. His assistant approached quietly. Sir, what did you find? The woman. Victor didn't look away. Continue. She doesn't exist in high society. Victor smiled. Interesting. No records of elite schools. No charity boards. No business history. Victor finally turned. So where did she come from? We're still investigating. Victor's eyes narrowed. Find out. If she's lying, I'll use it. The next week became a nightmare. Everywhere Lena went, cameras followed. Questions never stopped. Miss Sterling, when is the wedding? Did you sign a prenuptial agreement? Are you pregnant? She kept walking. Inside the limousine, she buried her face in her hands. I can't do this. Adrian sat opposite her. Look at me. She didn't. Lena. Finally she raised her eyes. What? They want a reaction. Don't give them one. I'm human. I know. No, you don't. My entire neighborhood thinks I've become some rich man's toy. My mother cries every night. I can't even buy groceries without someone filming me. Her voice cracked. This isn't a life. For several seconds Adrian said nothing. Then quietly, I was 28 when my father died. She looked at him. The board said I wasn't experienced enough. They smiled in meetings and tried to destroy me afterward. Lena listened silently. I stopped trusting people. He looked out the window. I forgot what a normal conversation sounded like. She spoke softly. So we're both pretending. He looked back at her. What do you mean? You pretend nothing hurts. And I pretend I'm someone I'm not. Their eyes met. Neither looked away. For the first time, the silence between them felt peaceful. Meanwhile, Victor entered a small records office. A nervous hotel employee sat across from him. Victor slid an envelope across the table. Inside was cash. I only need one answer. The employee swallowed. What do you want to know? Has this woman ever worked at the Grand Horizon Hotel? The employee hesitated. Victor pushed another envelope forward. The employee slowly nodded. Yes. Victor smiled. What did she do? Housekeeping. Victor leaned back. So, the billionaire's girlfriend. Used to clean bathrooms. He chuckled. This is going to be fun. That evening, Lena arrived at a charity gala wearing an elegant silver gown. Flashbulbs exploded around her. Inside the ballroom, influential business leaders greeted Adrian. One elderly board member smiled politely. Mr. Cross, your companion is lovely. Before Adrian could answer, another executive whispered loudly enough for others to hear. I wonder if beauty is her only qualification. Several people laughed. Lena heard every word. Her fingers curled into fists. Naomi's lesson echoed in her mind. Never explain. Never apologize. Smile. She slowly looked at the executive and smiled. You're right. The room became quiet. My beauty isn't a qualification. My character is. The executive's smile disappeared. Lena continued calmly. Unfortunately, not everyone can say the same. A few guests struggled to hide their laughter. The executive's face turned bright red. Adrian glanced sideways at Lena. A faint smile appeared on his lips. As they walked away, he murmured, Well played. Lena exhaled slowly. My knees are shaking. I couldn't tell. I thought I was going to cry. You made him want to. For the first time since this dangerous arrangement began, they both laughed. Neither of them noticed Victor watching from across the ballroom, already planning the move that would destroy everything they had begun to build. Lena's laughter faded the moment she noticed Victor watching them from across the ballroom. His smile wasn't friendly. It was the smile of a man who had already decided how someone else's story would end. The next morning, Victor walked into the boardroom carrying a thick file. "Gentlemen, I believe we've made a terrible mistake." Several directors exchanged confused looks. Victor laid photographs across the table. "This woman isn't Naomi Sterling." The room fell silent. One director picked up a picture of Lena pushing a housekeeping cart through the Grand Horizon Hotel. Another showed her wearing a housekeeping uniform. Murmurs filled the room. Victor spoke calmly. "Our CEO has introduced a fraud into this company." An elderly board member frowned. "Are you certain?" Victor nodded. "I verified everything." "What about Adrian?" Victor smiled. "He either knew, or he was deceived. Either way, the shareholders won't forgive this." Hours later, the headlines exploded. Billionaire CEO's girlfriend exposed as former hotel cleaner. Who was the real woman beside Adrian Cross? Television stations replayed Lena's photos over and over. Her phone wouldn't stop ringing. She finally switched it off. At home, Evelyn hugged her daughter tightly. "You don't have to go back." Lena wiped away tears. "If I run now, they'll think every lie is true." Her mother held her face gently. "I don't care what strangers think. I care about you." Lena smiled through her tears. "I'll be okay." Even she didn't believe those words. An emergency board meeting was called. Executives, shareholders, investors, and reporters filled the auditorium. Lena stood outside the doors. Her hands trembled. Adrian walked over. "I'm sorry." She looked at him. "Sorry for what?" "For what I'm about to do." Before she could ask another question, the doors opened. Inside, the chairman spoke firmly. "Mr. Cross, explain yourself." Victor stood confidently. "The evidence speaks for itself." He turned toward Lena. "Who are you?" Lena opened her mouth. But Adrian interrupted. "This relationship ends today." The room erupted. Lena stared at him in disbelief. He wouldn't even look at her. Victor smiled. Shareholders applauded. Cameras flashed. Lena felt as though the floor had disappeared beneath her. Without saying another word, she turned around and walked out. Outside the building, reporters surrounded her. "Were you pretending all along? Did you manipulate the CEO? How much money did he pay you?" She kept walking. Tears rolled down her cheeks. No answer would matter. No one wanted the truth. They only wanted a scandal. That night Adrian sat alone in his office. His assistant rushed inside. "Sir, you need to see this." She placed a tablet on his desk. "I was checking the security archive. Some files were deleted." Adrian frowned. "Deleted by whom?" She pointed to the screen. "Victor's executive account." Another employee entered. "Our cybersecurity team recovered encrypted emails." Adrian quickly opened them. His expression changed instantly. Forged documents. Fake financial reports. Bribed witnesses. Every piece of evidence against Lena had been manufactured. Adrian slowly stood. "I was right." His assistant looked confused. "What do you mean?" "Lena never lied to me. I knew from the beginning. I failed her anyway." The following morning, Adrian knocked on the small apartment door. Lena opened it. The moment she saw him, she tried to close it. He stopped the door gently. "Please. I only need 2 minutes." She looked at him with hurt in her eyes. "You already had 6 months." Silence. Finally, she stepped aside. He entered. The apartment felt smaller than ever. Adrian looked around. "This is where you've lived all these years." Lena folded her arms. "You didn't come here to inspect my home." "No. I came to admit I was wrong." She laughed bitterly. "You ended everything without letting me speak." "I was trying to protect." "Protect who? The company? The board? Your reputation?" Her voice broke. "What about me?" Adrian lowered his head. "I failed you. I chose fear. And I was wrong." Lena looked away. "I don't know if I can forgive you. I'm not asking you to. I'm asking for one chance to make this right." Before she could answer, her phone buzzed. It was Naomi. Lena answered quietly. "Hello." Naomi sounded panicked. "Lena, Victor threatened me. He said if I tell the truth, he'll destroy my father's company too." Lena's eyes widened. "Did he contact you directly?" "Yes." "Don't delete anything." "What?" "Save every message." Adrian immediately understood. "Those messages are evidence." Within hours, Lena, Adrian, Naomi, and Adrian's cybersecurity team worked together. Hidden emails, voice recordings, bank transfers, security footage. The truth slowly came together. Then Lena remembered something. The hotel. Everyone looked at her. The night Victor questioned an employee. There were cameras. Adrian smiled. If the footage still exists, we've got him. The hotel manager searched the archive. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, he found it. Victor handing envelopes full of cash to an employee. The room fell silent. Adrian looked at Lena. You did it. She smiled. No, we did. The next morning, Adrian requested another emergency board meeting. Victor walked in confidently. I assume today's meeting is about appointing the next CEO. Adrian answered calmly. It is. Victor smiled. I accept. Adrian looked toward the entrance. Bring her in. The doors opened. Lena walked inside. Every camera immediately turned toward her. Victor laughed. You've come back for more humiliation? Lena looked directly at him. No. I came back with the truth. The lights dimmed. A large screen came to life. The first video played. Victor bribing the hotel employee. The second, forged financial documents. The third, threatening Naomi. The fourth, deleted company records traced to Victor's account. The room exploded with shocked voices. Victor stood up. Those videos are fake. Adrian calmly replied. Our forensic team has already authenticated every file. Victor's confidence vanished. One board member slammed his fist on the table. You betrayed this company. Another shouted. You framed an innocent woman. Security entered. Victor looked desperately around the room. No, you can't do this. Adrian's voice remained calm. No, Victor. You did this to yourself. Security escorted Victor out as cameras captured every second. For the first time, the room applauded Lena. Later that afternoon, hundreds of reporters gathered for a live press conference. Adrian stepped to the podium. I owe someone an apology. He turned toward Lena. I judged fear above truth. And I was wrong. He stepped back. Lena walked forward. She took a deep breath. My name is Lena Brooks. I'm not a billionaire's daughter. I'm not an heiress. I'm the daughter of a hard-working mother who taught me that honesty matters. I agreed to pretend because I believed I owed someone a debt. I've made mistakes. But pretending to be someone else taught me something. She smiled gently. Your name is worth more than borrowed status. Truth may take longer, but it always arrives. The audience stood and applauded. Even the reporters who had once mocked her. 3 months later, Crosswell Group announced a new director of community development. The name on the office door read, Lena Brooks. She walked into her office and smiled. Adrian knocked lightly. May I come in? She looked up. Only if you're here as yourself. He smiled. No more pretending. No more secrets. She extended her hand. He shook it. This time, not as a billionaire and an imposter, but as two people who had chosen honesty over fear. If you enjoyed this story and believe that truth will always outshine deception, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more emotional billionaire stories, and leave a comment telling us, what would you have done if you were Lena? Accepted Adrian's deal or walked away after the first dinner? Until the next story, remember, sometimes the greatest fortune isn't money. It's having the courage to be yourself.